Welcome to the last day, everybody. Welcome to the last day. I say that with a tear in my eye and a smile in my heart. How's it going, everybody? Good to have you on this Friday. People are excited about the possible 3-day weekend. Hope you all have something fun planned. If you are joining us for the first time, like I said, this is the last day of our current daily creative challenge for Photoshop, where we can build our Photoshop skills over 9 challenges over 2 weeks. So we've been working on this since January 6th, and we're finally coming to a close on January 17th. But not to worry, a new challenger will appear on Monday morning at 9 a.m. And it's not someone who's ever hosted a challenge before, but I think you're going to be very pleased and learn more than you've ever learned before, maybe. And Chad, rocking the Photoshop shirt. It's a little see-through, but it's very cool. You can see the green screen behind it. Nice. So everybody, I hope you're enjoying these challenges, and I've had a lot of fun hosting them with you and learning with you. If you want to learn more, you can go to behance.net/challenge/Photoshop and check out what the current challenge is. So I'm going to scroll down. Retouching! We're finally going to touch on photo editing and retouching today. We are finishing our final day making a billboard, the largest print ad of all time. We're going to be making custom billboard images, mocking them up, and retouching our photos with some tools in Photoshop. It's going to be awesome. Aurelia thinks maybe Kyle will be the host. It's a good guess. Carlton says, cool. Yes. Very excited for the next challenge, definitely. Nora says, what about Finland? They'll have 4-day weekdays soon. Maybe we should go to the Finland style and have these challenges just go over 4 days. But we need to learn more. Let's keep it at 5. Alrighty, and if you want to come check out these challenges, like I said, go to the link above. You can also join our Discord community. So that's the great thing about this. Once my challenge is over, I will still exist on Discord. So you can always message me on there if you want to join us. It's bit.ly/psdiscord. There we go. That's the official Photoshop chat server, pretty much. So I'll show you that super quickly. We'll get it up. And I don't think our workflow today is going to take the whole 20 minutes. So I'm going to pop over here to Discord at the end and do some feedback. It's going to be great. So yes, you can come here. This is Discord. You can come to the current challenge tab. That's where I am right now. And that's where you can upload your work to get feedback. And then you can upload it to Behance for the whole world to see. Francisco, Paco, forever Kathleen. I'll stay in your hearts forever. Carlton says this is my first day following on time. Oh no! Come back on next week and then continue to follow on time for the new challenge. Okay, so join us on Discord. You can always reach out to the mentors over here. The mentors, not the dementors. And ask questions. And you can also ask questions over in the advice section. Click on ask a question and ask away. We've got a lot of really smart, talented people in here that should be able to help. Alrighty. Rosie says, hello, started to learn Photoshop. Welcome, Rosie. We're going to be doing some retouching. So let's jump into this. Now, first and foremost, before we jump in, I want to share a couple tutorials that might be helpful for you to continue your learning, or if you want some additional material. So here is one on adobe.com, how to remove and add objects in Adobe Photoshop. We're going to be doing a lot of that, and this is featuring the work of Gabriel Isaac. He's a really, really cool surreal photographer from Sweden, and I worked on this tutorial with him. And there's another one from him, and this is just about retouching photos, so using the healing brush tool, content-aware move, that kind of stuff. So we can post those links in the chat for you if you want to go check them out. But for now, let's do this. So I'm in Photoshop, and I provided you a bunch of stock images to play with. They're all stock images that you can remove something from and edit something into or out of. And this is one of them. This is the happiest farmer of all time. And actually, let me show you where you can download these images. I'm gonna scroll to the current challenge, click Get Started. That'll take you to Dropbox, and you can download them here. Alrighty, let's start with him. So, this is cool, but this random farmer wandered into our landscape shot. So let's remove him for now. So I'm on my current layer with my farmer, and I'm going to use something called the patch tool to remove him seamlessly. We could also use content aware fill, but the patch tool uses a little bit of content aware magic to work as well. So we are going to come over here to the left, choose patch tool, and if you don't see the patch tool and you're hitting J, because that's the hotkey, and you don't see it, you can always hit Shift J, and that will cycle through all of the retouching tools until you hit patch key, or you can just long press or long click. Alrighty. So I am going to select him using the patch tool. It's like cutting out a paper doll. He's so happy, I almost feel bad for getting rid of him. Kind of add some flavor to this. Select our guy, I'm just using a mouse. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and I'm going to grab him and just select some pixels that are just wheat. No more farmer. So I literally just click the selection I'm holding and dragging, deselect. He's gone. And now we have a beautiful landscape without our farmer. So before and after. And you saw how easy that was. I didn't have to use my stamp tool and manually go in and erase him. I could literally just select him, drag him, he's done. Chad says, I wonder how select subject or select object tool would work there. Let's do it. Alrighty, let's go up to here. Oh wait, there we go. Click select subject and see if it selects him. It does an okay job, but I can also use my lasso tool and select a little bit more. The only thing I'd worry about with select subject or select object is that it would select his exact pixels and maybe leave like a little bit of a halo around him so that when I then patch him, it might not be as clean. But Chad, you're the expert. So there you go. Is this stock photo gluten-free? It is produced in a factory that also processes gluten objects. The gluten song. Yes. Okay. So let's get rid of this man once again. And let's put him into one of our billboards. So I have this horizontal billboard that I've already made a smart object out of the actual copy space. So I'm going to double click into it. Go back to my farmer. That's not the farmer I want. There we go. Drag this image to my smart object. Where'd my smart object go? There it is. We got a little bit of Paul Tranny energy in the studio right now. He's doing backflips and handstands and not spilling his coffee at all. Oh yeah, I should also mention you guys should stick around for Paul's masterclass right after this. He will be on with more Photoshop goodness, and he'll probably teach you much more than I ever could. Let's check this out. Boom, there we go. Our beautiful, serene landscape. But yeah, stick around after me. I'll be out of here in about 15 minutes and Paul will be up, followed by Jason Levine. He's going to be doing an audio video masterclass, so that'll be for an hour as well. And then Howard will be up for the XD Daily Creative Challenge and then an XD masterclass. So there's going to be a lot of masterclasses happening today, and it's all free. So you guys should stick around. Even if you're at work, just have us up on your second monitor. I know you all have those. All of you. I don't know that at all. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of education. I'm going to hopefully be watching today too. All right, so we've gotten rid of our farmer in about 2.5 seconds. All right, so next thing we're going to do is let's get rid of this very distracting piece of roadside structure. I'm not quite sure what this is, but we're going to go from here to here. Now, if I were to zoom in super quick, it still looks pretty good. Like there's nothing that really jumps out to your eye. Maybe I could build out the tree a little bit more here, but we've done a really good job, and this took me all of a minute and a half to do. So let me show you how I did it. I'm gonna duplicate this layer super quickly. One thing I could do is I could use the patch tool again. I could also try and maybe do content aware fill. So let's try that and see how it works. And if it doesn't work out well, we will try the patch tool again. So I'm going to select my little piece of roadside stuff. We want this to look like this man is just out in the wilderness and nobody knows where he is. He's definitely not next to a road. And what I'm gonna do is come up to Edit, Content Aware Fill. And let's see, Vandom says, I don't see Paul's live stream on my screen. Do you see my live stream on your screen? I'm here for another 15 minutes and then Paul will be here. All right, so the way that Content Aware Fill works is it's magic. Just kidding, it's artificial intelligence. So Adobe Sensei does some really awesome work and checks out this selection, checks out the rest of the image and sees how those pixels look compared to this selection, and then does its darndest to fill in our selection with what it thinks belongs there. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. This is the preview over here. Check that out. It's gone, and it probably did a better job than I would have done by hand. Yeah, the tree is totally filled out. It's a little bit murky, like right here, and it seems like these branches maybe kind of come out of nowhere, so we can always tweak it. But for now, we are going to click OK. Carlton says, I can't find this picture in the download files. Oh no! If you don't want to find, or if you can't find that one, I can give you the stock number and you can download a preview yourself, or you can play with the other ones. No problem. Let me see if I can actually find what that stock number was. Yes, okay, I'm gonna post it in chat super quick, and the way that you can find this is if you go to Adobe Stock. We're gonna have a little bit of an inception moment. Sorry, Jim. Oh, it didn't even work, great. All right, there we go. And here we are. Wow, that was very sensei. All right, yeah, so you can post that last section of the title, so the 79321 blah, 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 in Adobe Stock in the search bar, and it'll find that image for you. Okay, so here we go. This is the Content Aware Fill, and it made a new layer with just those pixels, just that selection. So I can turn that on and off and compare. Dee says, I'm literally blown away. She's like spinning in her chair right now. It's amazing. Oh, I just cracked my neck. Just got whiplash from that. I think I needed that. Leah says, love it. Yeah, and looking at it again, it looks pretty good. So like I said, right here it looks a little bit funny. And I think it actually looks better in the original. So I am going to make sure I have my Content Aware new pixels selected. I'm gonna make a layer mask, and I'm just gonna paint away this edge a little bit. Cool, better. And now this looks like an Apple billboard. This is shot on iPhone. He's out in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness. I'm gonna combine these. Make a copy, drag it over to our horizontal billboard. Actually, I need to open my Smart Object first. There we go. Let me find, there's too many files open. So little time. There we go. Come back. There we are. He looks so majestic, I think is the right word for it. Boom, no street sign, no nothing. Apple, eat your heart out. We're gonna save it, and then you can also add text to these, you know, have this be a billboard for the DCC. DCC running January 6th to January 17th. Nice. Cecilia, anyone know why my libraries are grayed out? That is a common problem that happens to me all the time. And I do usually have to log out and log back in manually. D says smart objects are pro. Yeah, you can make so many mock-ups for this. All right, I'm gonna show you one more, or maybe two more, We'll see how much time we have, but I'm gonna close some of these just so my tab at the top isn't so wild. Get that smart object closed. I'm gonna close the street sign. Okay, so this is the image that is provided in the download files. It is a skateboarder, he's on a red wall, it's pretty cool. And this might work well for if you wanted to make like a banner ad and have some copy over here. So there's this large piece of space here. But for an actual billboard, and I don't want any copy on it, I want this guy to be right in the middle. But I want to do it super quick and easy, and I don't want to have to copy him and move him and push a bunch of pixels around. So let's go from here to here incredibly easily. I will show you how. So I'm gonna just make a little copy of this just so I can work on it without worrying. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the content aware move tool. That's gonna allow me to grab something from here, move it over here, and when I move it, it's not gonna leave a hole that's gonna be filled in with content aware magic. So the content aware move tool is hidden within the retouching little subset of tools. So I'm going to long click, select content aware move tool. As I said earlier, the J is the hotkey for all of these, so you can just do Shift J to cycle through them. Don't even have to touch your mouse yet. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit and select him. Just gonna do kind of a rough selection around him, getting some of those pixels from behind him, letting Adobe Sensei know what's around him. Adobe Sensei, always listening. That sounded scarier than I wanted it to. And you can either have the mode be move or extend. So if it's extend, it's going to copy this and move it, so there will be two skateboarders. But I want it to be move. I want it to take the skateboarder from here, move it over there, and fill in that backspace. So all you gotta do is grab him. I'm gonna hold Shift and move him over so that even if I move my mouse up and down, he's just gonna move over in a straight line. And line him up just about as well as I can in the center. Hit return. It's thinking, and he's gone, it's magic. So if I deselect that, it filled in the space where he was and moved him over here. Now there's a little bit of cleanup work that we could do with, say, the stamp tool or the healing brush tool. So let me see here. I'm gonna do maybe a little bit of healing brush. I'm gonna select a source area. So to do that, you hold Option or Alt, and this new kind of target will appear, a crosshair. I'm gonna click and then kind of fill in here. And you'll notice that there are no hard edges where I selected. So it's not a pure stamp, it's really trying to heal. It's using a little bit of Adobe magic as well. I'm trying to line up those lines about as well as I can. It's a little bit hard with perspective involved. Oh, physics and perspective, you make my life so difficult. It's not that difficult, we have Adobe Sensei here to help us. Alrighty, if I zoom out, it looks alright. I could spend another 5 minutes on this and it would be perfect. Fandom says clone stamp. Yes, totally. I could just use the clone stamp over here, but I think healing brush will allow me to have a little bit of a softer edge. Now here I can do something similar. You'll notice that it's hard when things are straight lines and then you content aware into them, because usually they'll be bumped up a little bit or bumped down, warped a bit, but you can fix that manually. So if I were to go in here, maybe grab right along the edge right there, line it up as perfectly as I can. Looks pretty good. Again, I could sit here for another 5 minutes and perfect it, but I got other things to show you. Carlton says you do a great job, Kathleen. Thanks, Carlton. Glad to have you here. Tim says there's also a way to clone the pattern using the right perspective. Tim, would you like to tell us about that? Or maybe you can chat about it in the Discord in your awesome pro tips. Should definitely come check out the, let me show you, the pro tips channel. Where is it? Did I close it? I think I did, yep. So up here at the top, pro tips, That is where mods and mentors can post their very cool Creative Cloud pro tips. All right, let's get this guy over into our billboard. So we're gonna open our smart object again. Make a copy, I'm just gonna hold Option, drag up to my tabs at the top, drag them in, Command T to resize. So big. Thank you, Adobe Stock, for the high-res image. Looks good, save it, and see how it goes. I like the red against that blue sky. That's awesome. Window clone source. Okay, cool. Thank you, thank you. Alrighty, and then the last one I'm going to show is we are going to go from this to this, using more of those, we could use the patch tool, we could use healing brush. I'm gonna show you a different way to use the patch tool that's helpful when you're doing very geometric and straight lines. So let me make a duplicate of this just so I know I'm not messing anything up. And you saw me earlier use the patch tool. Where is it? There it is. This is one set of tools that I always lose, and I think it's because these three icons at the bottom look so different. I'm always looking for this Band-Aid, and when it's not there, I'm like, I'm lost. Somebody help me. Alrighty, we're gonna use this patch tool, and before you saw me just manually kind of dragging a selection. This is fine, but when these really straight lines are involved, having such an organic kind of wobbly selection can sometimes confuse Adobe Sensei a little bit. I know even Sensei gets confused. But the beautiful thing is you can even use other kinds of selections with this tool. I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. So say I wanna make a very rigid selection. I can come up here to my rectangular marquee tool. I can select just around this little pole. And from here, I can go back to my patch tool and I can move it. Maybe I move it over this way a little bit. Now that might not be perfect because it is lower down here than it is there, but I can come in and fix that up and clean that up a little bit. I could also try going to Content Aware Fill. If I would like, see how that works? And you can see the pixels that it's using to make its decisions. It's thinking. And there we go, it's gone. I could go back in here and kind of paint back in these dark lines or grab a dark line with the clone stamp tool and add it back in. But it's very awesome. The patch tool and Content Aware in general is very flexible, so you can use any kind of selection with it. Steve says, Inception time. I slept in and started watching 10 minutes ago. We'll have to watch the feed from the start after Paul Tranny. Oh, got you. Cool, yeah, you should definitely watch the replay, but Paul's class is gonna be starting at about 9:30, so you have really good things to look forward to for the rest of the day. Alrighty, so after I did some work on here, I removed all of the lines. I even removed these lines here at the bottom. And let's get this put into our vertical billboard. We opened our smart object. I'm gonna grab my photo, make a copy, bring it over here, drag it in. There's a whole collection of stock images with this model, and they're all so good. I love her colorful clothes. Put it right in the middle, confirm, save, and there she is on the wall. Looks like she's just standing there hoping that nobody sees her. All right, so that is it for my retouching workflows. Let's get this exported and uploaded onto Discord, get some feedback from all of y'all. And I only have a minute left, so it looks like I'm not gonna be able to do much feedback today, or at least right now, but I can always come back later in Discord and look at your work. Export as. In chat, before I leave, I only have about a minute left. I wanna know what's the favorite thing that you did during this challenge or the favorite kind of workflow that you learned. I think I really enjoyed making that, that composite calendar. That was really fun. Composites are always a very creative thing for me. Upload, there we go, saving it. And we'll get it put up here in current challenge to get some feedback. Yeah, let me know. And I also love doing those patterns yesterday. I wonder if Paul's gonna talk at all about how to do patterns. If If he does, I'll be very excited. So I'll just reiterate, we've got Paul coming up next with his Photoshop masterclass. And then after that, we've got Jason Levine. He's going to be piped in remotely to do his masterclass in audio and video. And then we have XD coming up after that. So it's going to be a full day. I'm going to miss you guys. Thanks for being here. Stick around next week on Monday. A new DCC is going to start. And then I will be back with a DCC in the middle of February. So you can look forward to that. All right, guys, I'll miss you. I'm proud of you. Goodbye.